Thought of visitors from another planet would get a lot of folks the willies.
Yeah, one man says it's been happening and that the government, specifically NASA, knows about it. J.R. Barry has the story.
It's a question man has been asking for centuries. Are we alone? And could there really be life out there somewhere? For some, the answer is easy. NASA, they say, knows that alien life exists and that we're being visited on a regular basis.
Maybe the powers to be are setting us up for disclosure and making it more subtle so that it isn't a big jolt to us.
Clifford Cliff is the worldwide director of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. They have some 1,000 investigators. One of their latest investigations has to do with this video from January 28th of this year. A mysterious light is seen descending from the sky in Jerusalem. Multiple videos have surfaced of the supposed event. They all show the light hovering above the Dome of the Rock. After a few seconds, there appears to be some sort of energy burst. And then the light zooms away. So, is this proof positive that aliens exist, or is it nothing more than an elaborate hoax? MUFON believes NASA knows for sure.
They do have a significant amount of information about the UFO phenomenon and ETs that they have not disclosed that are still there. Some of the astronauts have come forward now and are indicating that they have seen and witnessed things that were beyond their explanation.
Last October, during a satellite interview with NASA Director Charlie Bolden, I asked the former astronaut if he had ever seen anything in space.
JR, I must admit, everybody that goes to space wants to see an alien. Or wants to see some evidence that there is other life in our universe, and I'm no different. But I am here to report that I saw no evidence, although deep in my heart I believe that there is good potential for other life in our universe.
There is no doubt we are being visited.
However, one of Bolden's colleagues says otherwise. Dr. Edgar Mitchell was the sixth man to walk on the moon. He came forward years ago claiming to have proof that alien life is out there.
The universe that we live in is much more wondrous, exciting, complex, and far-reaching than we were ever able to know up to this point in time. And the fact we have wondered, were we alone in the universe forever? Only in our period do we really have evidence, no, we're not alone.
So what's going on here? Why the different stories from two credible NASA sources? Last month, I had the chance to catch up with the NASA director again, this time in person, and I asked him about Ed Mitchell's stunning comments.
Ed Mitchell is a big believer in extraterrestrials. And as you and I talked about before, I am one who, because of my faith, I believe that there is very likely other life somewhere else in the universe. I just don't have any evidence to back that up. But Edgar is one who, contrary to my observations, actually claims to have evidence that extraterrestrials exist.
Well, even the Vatican is...
Shall you been scav?
None.
Paul Chodas is a scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. He and his boss, Don Yeomans, have been trying to track near-Earth objects for decades.
We didn't see it coming. It was coming from the general direction of the sun, so it was in the daytime sky as it approached.
So how did you find out about it?
Twitter and YouTube, when we first saw the images.
So the first people at NASA heard about it was Twitter?
Exactly.
The meteor that rocketed into Russia really got our attention a few weeks back. We learned today about the threat of such things to our modern world. In the meteor and asteroid tracking business, they call the big ones city killers. And while there was very little good news today about our chances of getting them before they get us, there was some talk about future remedies. Our report tonight from NBC's Stephanie Gosk.
Last month, a meteor rocketed into the atmosphere and exploded over Russia, frightening because the shockwave blew out windows and injured 1,200 people.
It came out of the sun. It came from a direction where our telescopes could not look.
Today at a hearing on Capitol Hill, leading space scientists told lawmakers the U.S. is not prepared to defend itself against meteors of the same size.
If you detected even a small one, like the one that detonated in Russia, headed for New York City in 3 weeks, what would we do?
The answer to you is if it's coming in 3 weeks, pray.
Scientists say they have identified all asteroids large enough to wipe out the planet, like the one suspected of killing off the dinosaurs, and there is no immediate risk. The concern is meteors that are smaller, but still big enough to take out a city.
The number of undetected potential city killers is very large. It's in the range of 10,000 or more.
The probability of impact is low, they say, but at present funding levels, NASA believes it will take almost 20 years to identify them all. What would help is an infrared telescope. The government won't pay for one, but a former astronaut is looking to build the first ever privately funded deep space telescope. NASA is collaborating on the project, but the space agency says it still needs more money to identify and develop ways to protect the planet.
A good segment of the population thinks it's just a matter of call Bruce Willis in, and notwithstanding we don't have a shuttle anymore.
Press it!
Hollywood's version is definitely a bit dramatic, but scientists say there is reason to be concerned. The meteor in Russia was like a shot across the bow. Stephanie Gosk, NBC
CBS News contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City University of New York. Welcome.
Glad to be on.
What do we expect to come out of these hearings?
Well, everything's on the table. Intercepting an asteroid, blowing it up, deflecting it. It's going to be like Buck Rogers meets the United States Congress. Now, it's a no-brainer that what they need first is an early warning system, a space telescope that can detect an asteroid from a distance, because it would only cost a few $100 million. That's chump change compared to like a stealth bomber. And realize the threat is real. You know, in Russia, if that asteroid had held intact for a few more seconds, it would have hit the ground with the force of 20 Hiroshima bombs. Casualties would have been...
The two events of Friday, February 15th, the harmless flyby of asteroid 2012 DA-14 and the not-so-harmless impact of a meteor in Russia are a stark reminder of the need to invest in space science.
Reading from Dr. Holdren's testimony, says, quote, depending on its composition and velocity, an asteroid of 140 meters in diameter could have an impact energy in the range of 50 to 500 megatons of TNT equivalent and would be capable of causing destruction over a large region. Describe with greater detail what you mean by a, quote, large region, end quote.
The size you're talking about, 140 meters, and you've got the numbers exactly right, could devastate the better part of a continent. The only fortunate thing is that the estimated frequency with which objects of that size strike the Earth is about 1 in 20,000 years.
The one that hit Russia, there's no question about that, and that's about all we know about it. Why didn't we know that was coming, that it was in the air or on its way?
It came out of the sun, Congressman Hall. It came from a direction where our telescopes could not look. We cannot look into the sun.
Well, we can't make that determination as to where it's going to come from. We ought to be able to do something no matter where it comes from if it's going to hit the Earth.
The most important single thing we could do to improve our capacity to see any asteroid of potentially damaging size coming would be an orbiting infrared telescope of the sort that the B612 Foundation.
No, thank you.
I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be popular. I know all about popular.
It's popularity, bitch.
I know all about popular.
Where this say that.
I know all about popular.
Let me tell you about the popular plan. Kicking rocks, shooting blocks, just a run from the man. Like an ostrich with his head in the sand. Puffy making a band, Wu-Tang making a clan. Let me tell you about the popular man. Running streets with his peeps just to open a can. The major plan is to gain all the fans. Mass pollute the demand, perpetrating the land. Popularity begins like this. The clothes, the hair, and colorful lips. Would you believe the popularity used to be shit? It used to not matter how much flow you could spit. It used to not matter if your pants was ripped. It used to not matter how big is your click. All that really used to matter is that you're fully legit. But all that matters now is how big is your dick. It's popularity, bitch. Where did it say that? Popularity. Does it even exist? Is life to end up on a list to get pissed? Decide not to take it no more and ball up your fist? I'd rather be kissed by osteoporosis than end up on a list of people permanently pissed. The train to all the riches I must have just missed. The paths I should have taken are gone with the mist. None of the shit matters. Popularity hits. They don't think about the mother in the drink with
We kind of wanted to clean this image up a little bit and not have the comment look funny. So
there's no hocus pocus here really, because of course the comment doesn't really look like what I'm showing right now. There's no hocus pocus here really, because of course the comment doesn't really look like what I'm showing right now, right? Because of course the comment doesn't really look like what I'm showing right now, right?
About the mother in the rain with their kids. They don't care about the kids laying dead with their friends, needing blood, a syringe, a gurney, gauze, and some meds, and a real good surgeon to remove all the lead. Now next you need a lawyer to help you defend. They're taking all your money, and then in the end, you're hoping that they let your broke ass join in. Join in. It's popularity, bitch. Say this, wear that. So to sum it all up, the popularity shit. They can all eat a dick or pick up, swallow, and spit. So they know how to flash it to get under your skin. And I'ma show them how much I can do with a pen. I'ma show everyone just how they begin. I'ma keep pushing hits till they pulling me in, so I can roll in a Benz. Clown until I don't know which town that I'm in. Bitch, I can't wait for popularity's again. Live in the city of sin. Call me out, I'm gay. Say what, where, and when. I put you under a spin. Like fish we're missing a fin. A dog caged in a pen. 10-man's heart in a bin. So haters keep on hating cause my girl is a 10. Standing on the walls of something ready to end. Like popularity was even real to begin. Who thought I'd have to sell my soul to get right in? It's popularity, bitch.
Stay.
It is said, the comet always precedes them. These world enders. The cold stack planets are gone. 8 million settlers missing. The entire Aquilon system is gone too. Killian Prime shares its sunlight with all worlds nearby. If we fall, they fall. And after that, my God, how do I save my family? Have you heard anything I've said?
Said it's all circling the drain, the whole universe. Right?
That's right.
Had done sometime.
Sorry, this just doesn't make sense. The comet made a turn.
Turn?
Look, it just completely shifted its orbit.
Give me Rover 2 on screen 1. Rotate all cameras 90 degrees positive.
God.
The first Earthlings to see the effects will be in Newfoundland or Newfoundland.
Chucky.
Hey, where have you been? You're gonna miss everything. It's in the store.
Oh, kids. I'll never marry another man with kids.
In 1910, Halley's Comet returned. Everybody thought they were going to die then.
What's that?